So now that you have identified your competitors, direct, indirect, and peripheral level, the next step is to visualize where everyone sits. This isn't just a nice slide for a pitch deck. A good competitor map helps you spot where the market is crowded, discover white space, and clearly explain your positioning to investors, partners, and even your own team. Let's break down how to do it. Step 1. Choose the right axis. Pick 2 dimensions that are meaningful to your space. The trade-offs that matters to users. A few common examples. X-axis represents level of decentralization. Y-axis represents UX friendliness. Or it could be X-axis represents cost. Y-axis represents speed of onboarding. There is no one-size-fits-all. Choose axis that highlights the value your product brings and the choices users care about. Step 2. Plot your competitors. Take your top 4 to 6 competitors and place them on the grid based on where they fall. Let's say you're building a DAO operations tool. One player might be feature-rich but extremely technical. Another might be super simple but only solves one part of the problem. A third might be Web2 based, make it fast on board, but not truly decentralized. Once you plot them out, you will often see a pattern. Everyone is clustered in one corner, and one area is totally open. That open space, that's your opportunity. Step 3. Plot yourself. Now place your product on the same grid and draw attention to how you are differentiated. We are the only solution that combines real self-custody with one-click onboarding. We are the first to offer enterprise-grade DAO tooling with no-code UX. This isn't about trashing the competition. It's about showing where you play differently and why that matters. Another tip, name the quadrants. Take it one step further and give each section of the grid a name. For example, overbuild for devs, fast but centralized, powerful and accessible. That should be you. This helps your audience remember the map and remember you. Competitor maps aren't about being the best at everything. They're about showing where you lead and why that leadership matters to users. So don't just list names. Visualize the landscape. Own your position. Once you have mapped the competitive landscape, it's time to go one layer deeper and benchmark. This is where you analyze what your competitors are actually doing, not just what they say they do on their landing pages. Benchmarking helps you understand how others solve the problem, spot where they fall short, and define your edge based on substance, not just branding. Let's break it down. You don't need a massive spreadsheet. Just look at 5 key dimensions that matter in Web3. First, product and feature set. What do they offer, and how complete is it? Are they solving one piece of the puzzle or trying to be all-in-one product? Are features actually being used, or are they just bloated? Are they open source, modular, or composable? For example, one DAO tool might offer token-based voting. Another includes treasury management, contributor payroll, and Discord integrations. Knowing what's included and what's missing helps you prioritize your MVP. Second, UX and onboarding. How easy is it to get started? Can a non-technical user figure it out in 2 minutes? Does it require connecting a wallet before understanding anything? Are there mobile, browser, and multi-sig options? Web3 has a UX that problem. So if your onboarding is 10x smoother, that's not a small thing. That's a competitive advantage. Third, ecosystem and infra fit. What stack or protocol are they built on? And what does that unlock or limit? Are they EVM only, cross-chain, roll-up native? Do they rely heavily on single L1's incentives? Do they support open standards or require vendor lock-in? Understanding this helps you align your infra choices with your go-to-market. Sometimes your competitor is strong, but trapped in the wrong ecosystem. Fourth, community and growth. How active is their community? What's their Twitter or Farcaster growth? Are people actively in Discord or just lurking? Are there powerful users evangelizing the product? This is especially important in Web3, where community is not just a marketing channel, it's your moat. A technically weaker product with a strong, loyal community often wins. Finally, the business model. How do they make money or plan to? Are they token first, grant funded, or revenue generating? Is there a clear value exchange? Are they sustainable beyond ecosystem incentives? This one is often ignored, but it matters, especially if you're building in a bear market. If your competitor is running on HAP, where you are running on retention and revenue, congratulations, that's a story worth telling. Here are a few tools and signals that help. Doom, on-chain user behavior and wallet cons, usage specs. Token terminal, protocol revenues, fees, and token models. DeFi Llama, ecosystem analytics and TVL trains. GitHub, check development activity. When was their last commit? Twitter, Farcaster, Discord, scan engagement, not just follower count. You don't need to analyze everything. Just focus on what gives you an unfair insight. Benchmarking isn't about copying, it's about clarity. What's working for others? What users are already expecting? And where you can do better, go deeper, or play smarter. So don't just say, we're different. Know how and show how. You have mapped the market. You have benchmarked your competitors. Now comes the most important part. What do you do with those information? Because research without action is just noise. This is where you shift from analysis to strategy and start shaping your product, positioning, and pitch in a way that actually stands out. First, define your edge. Start by asking, what do we offer that others don't? And why does it matter to our users? This isn't about being better at everything. It's about being clearly better at one thing that your specific users care about. Maybe you're faster to onboard. You are built for a niche no one else is targeting. You solve the same problem with half of the steps. For example, they serve DeFi pros. We serve macro investors who have never touched DEX. That's an edge. Second, sharpen your story. Once you have defined your edge, embed it in your narrative, your pitch deck, your website, your onboarding. Don't just say, we're like X, but better. Say, we're different because we solve Y, and here's how we do it faster, cheaper, and more clearly. Positioning is not just a marketing exercise. It's a product and strategy decision. The sharper your story, the easier it is to raise capital, acquire users, and build community momentum. 3. Avoid the yet another trap. Here's where a lot of founders fall flat. They look at competitors, try to build everything they have, and then a little more. Result? A bloated product that's 10% better and nothing. Don't do that. Your first version isn't meant to compete on volume. It's meant to compete on focus. Win one thing first. Solve one painful use case really well. That's how breakout products start. Not by doing more, but by doing one thing 10x better. So to bring it home, use competitor research to define your wedge. Craft a story that makes it obvious why you are different. And build with intention, not imitation. Because in Web3, you are not just shipping code. You are building in public, with users watching and narratives forming around you. And the project that win aren't just technically better, they're strategically clear.